Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, another video. As promised, we're along with Hunter.
We're out here tonight, just gonna shoot the bows. I think it's September 10th.
Coming up on season, so we're gonna try and get the bows sighted back in. Been a while since you shot, Hunter, or you staying active?
A few weeks. Been just actually launched one and into the cornfield it went, so.
But you want to get those out of the way early, so.
Yeah, I think I did it on purpose, just want to get it out of the way.
Volley of arrows, how'd we do?
We did all right. We're a little rusty, but Braden didn't lose any arrows. I lost one.
We're only one down so far, but
ranged it a little wrong, but that's all right.
So
not doing too bad.
As I promised last video, Hunter, tell us a little bit about your expeditions on public land. What are you kind of looking to target this year?
Yeah, so I think Braden told you guys in a previous video, I had probably like a 57-acre farm that I acquired probably about 2 years ago. And it was a farm I'd actually always wanted, really enjoyed it, had a lot of deer on it. Ended up selling it, unfortunately, just for kind of a variety of reasons. One, I was able to make a decent amount of money on it, so it was a good investment, and I kind of thought about that when I bought it. Two, after kind of hunting it for a few years, even though it had a lot of deer on the property, the access was really hard. I could only come in from the west side, so obviously entering with primarily west winds made it kind of difficult to hunt sometimes. And also too, I primarily archery hunt, and a lot of the neighbors, it just seemed to sit on like a ditch line or whatever. Like a lot of the bucks that I was going after were just getting shot like the first and second day of gun season, which kind of made it really frustrating. Come to find out, they lost permission on some of the surrounding farms because of sales of the farm after I sold it. So that was pretty disappointing, but it is what it is. So now I don't have the farm. Braden and I have a nice permission farm not too far from us. I've got another permission farm possibly, but I am gonna try more public land this year, and we're gonna see it. I haven't really hunted public land out where we're at in Indiana. Found a lot of public land out in Pennsylvania, not so much for deer, mostly for bear. So we're gonna see what it's kind of like out here. Hopefully I can learn a lot, you guys can learn with me, and I'll kind of take you along on that journey.
All right, so we kind of ran out of shooting lights, so brought you inside here to the hunting cave a little bit. We want to talk a little bit about how we're going to actually structure this deer season. So I mentioned in the last video, we each had a piece of private. I'll still be hunting the 40 acres that my dad owns, and Hunter kind of talked to you about how he's given up that land that he owned for a while. Mostly we want to talk a little bit about the property that we're calling the Cook Farm. So I'm going to turn that over to Hunter.
Yeah, so the Cook Farm we got, I think 2 years ago, something like that. Honestly, just got the permission from looking on aerial maps, just county websites, finding people's names.
Well, whenever you see a piece of property that big, yeah, that's kind of what drew us to it.
Yeah, this is actually a 365-acre parcel that this guy owns, and honestly, most of the times you run into parcels like that, they already have people hunting them. Those people hunt themselves, and we actually just happened to luck out. We're on, this will be our third year. Honestly, for the first 2 years, neither of us hunted it. Maybe a small handful.
Not a lot. Hunter, your friend shot one out there, right?
Yeah, my buddy from Pennsylvania, I invited him out here, and he shot a buck pretty nice in like the first 30 minutes of sitting.
He did better there than we have so far.
Yeah, honestly. His expectations come from Pennsylvania too, you know, a lot different than what we have out here. And but it was actually a nice buck, you know, and he was happy to take it, and only out here for a few days, so that was cool to get him on something. It's 365 acres. Now, a lot of that is ag. It's kind of got a big timber parcel that's kind of long, and it's kind of split into a couple pieces. So there's a long piece, another piece, and then like a smaller woods that's kind of separate.
It's kind of an intriguing little woods out by itself in the middle of nowhere, and I think that's kind of, you and me kind of kicked around the idea that could possibly be a spot where like a mature buck is hiding what we call like an overlooked area. So that's kind of what we're calling the cook farm in a nutshell. So that's that big piece of timber. So we'll definitely get out there. I mean, we're gonna be out there doing some scouting, probably have to hang some new sets. There's a couple stands still left out there, but they haven't produced anything for us in the last couple of years. So we'll be moving around that property, hanging some trail cameras here soon.
So that's the wrap up on cooks, like Braden said, and hopefully coming up here we'll take a look at some public ground and get some scouting in there. There's some not too far. There's a few different towns that have some smaller parcels. They're not huge, but for around here it's at least something.
Though I think that's a really good introduction to whatever it takes outdoors.
But yeah, it's actually weird being on camera.
Real deer. Dude, I'm videoing. Obviously this is smaller than a real deer, and you're going for Asher, you guys are killing me! How are Braden and I supposed to blow up our YouTube channel?
So that's pretty much the wrap up on cooks.
Hey, come on. Like we said, it's like the ambiance stars. Hey, Gwynny.
Right, just continue to do whatever it takes, and
happy hunting.
Whatever it takes, zam, boom,